You have to decide the type of person that you're going to be, because it's a very important choice to make. How you treat people and how you go by doing them is going to be a direct way and a direct link to the way that you are treated by others. So when you do right by other people and you do good by other people, the universe will bring people into your life to do good by you. Opportunities are going to meet you and greet you better than ever before. You always get what you put out, and that always doesn't have to be a negative thing. It could be a positive thing, but you have to be a positive person for it to work. In order for it to work for you, you have to work for it. You can't expect something for nothing. You have to give something greater than what you're trying to get. And don't worry, because you already have that. You just have to take a hold of it, access it, not be afraid to use it. When you go to be a good person and be respectful to other people, you'll find those who will try to play you because of it. They'll try to look at you like you're a weaker person because you don't have that type of toxicity in your spirit, which people like that view as a strength. But people who are really in the know and who are godly and work towards being that every day, it's seen as a weakness. So it's not something that we view as a strength. We don't view the ability to do others harm and to not have a conscience as a strength. That is indeed a weakness. But it's dependent on whoever's perception, whoever's perceiving it. So that's just us and our perception as godly people to perceive that if you're not doing right by other people and you're purposely doing wrong by them as a choice, putting in a conscious effort, that's a sign of weakness, because you're not battling your inner demons to want to perfect yourself to a godly state, to a godhood, a God consciousness, a God way of being. That's why he says his ways are not that's why he says our ways aren't his ways, but we have to do the best that we can to make our ways reflect that. And when people choose to not do that and they don't take that route, they tend to look down on people who do. All right, so doing right by people, it's not easy. It's not easy to do right by people. You'll try to do right by people and they'll clown you for it. You'll try to do right by people, they'll put you down for it. They'll look at you funny. And sometimes they may even talk about you behind your back, when all you're trying to do is be a good person and be the type of person that you were put here to be. A positive person, a peaceful person, one that likes to uplift and spread good vibes. And that should be everybody's goal, is to want to uplift other people and to spread positive energy, to want to see another person do good. And if we have to get amongst ourselves and be separate, we're cool with that, because there are other people, even though it may not seem like there are a lot, there are other people that want to see other people do good. A lot of them have subscribed to my channel, and I'm digging the energy. I'm feeling the vibe. I like positivity. If you haven't noticed already, I like being a positive dude because it works for me, and I like doing what works for me. I have a system of positivity that I use, and I have to fully access it and take a hold of it. All right, people tend to make you not want to be who you're supposed to be because they have a negative outlook on it. They feel that you may be better than them, so they ridicule you or scrutinize you for who you're becoming, because it's just a little bit better than who they're choosing to be. If they're choosing to be whoever they are, they should own that, live up to that, and be comfortable in the presence of others. But it doesn't seem like that's something they're able to do. You'll have people who will do you some type of harm act good just for the purposes of being in the spotlight, because they see all the shine that you get from being yourself, which is a naturally good person. You shine naturally being who you are, divinely. They want to glow like that, but they don't want to grow like that. They want to glow like that. They want to have a glow like you, but they don't want to have to grow like you. You're growing, and that's why you're glowing. Just radiant, vibrant, shining, luminous. You illuminate every room you walk into, every step you take. It's like when Michael Jackson was walking in Billie Jean. You are a child of light, and of love, and of peace, and of a sound mind, and of strength, and of courage. You have the power to do the opposite of what you see taking place. You chose to want to be a good person that does right by other people, despite what you see in this world, despite how you see other people moving in this world. All right, let's not act like we don't see a whole system catering to people who want to be negative and toxic. You can have friends. You know, the world, it seems like things work out easier for them. It's because the world was given into the hands of the wicked. Things are going to be a little bit more difficult for you. It's not easy, but it's worth it. It's not easy wanting to be a good person, wanting to be a godly person, but it's worth it. Because you have the king on your side. What they have is real thin on their side. Their friendship, this matrix, which is evaporating daily, it's falling apart. People are waking up to their godly state of being and their divinity. They're stepping right into it like a door, but they had to crack the code and open it. Stay a positive person. Stay a good person. Stay who you are. Don't change for other people. Somebody may look good, but they may not be good on the inside. You may feel that in order to hang around this person, you have to now take on some of their characteristics or attributes of being low vibrational. No, it's not worth it. You got to get in and get out of that situation, or just get out completely. Once you find out, once you figure it out, once you see that, well, you know what? This is not a situation that I need to be in at all. Because this person is not really willing to do right by others. Sooner or later, this person is not going to do right by you. If you see someone doing not right by other people in any kind of way, eventually that side of them is going to come out towards you. You will have to experience that side of them. And before things get real, check and see how you feel. All right, because it will be a top-notch indicator, your discernment trying to connect with you and give you some time to be able to see that, you know what, this isn't the situation for me. All right, you have to do right by people, and you shouldn't settle for anyone that won't do right by you. Anyone that won't do right by you isn't supposed to be in your life. You can't wait for people to change. You can't expect people to want better or to do better. You can't even expect people to want better for you. You have to want better for you. You can't even expect people who are with you to want better for you. That's an inside job, wanting better for yourself, wanting to do the best for yourself, wanting to be the best person you can be. And sometimes a lot of people will even try to put that responsibility on you to try to make them into their greatest version when it's an inside job. Doing right by people is a part of becoming your greatest version. All right, whoever is the greatest amongst you will be your servant. Figure out how to do right by others. Figure out how to do right by somebody. You may not be perfect. You may have an attitude. You may even curse people out. Figure out how to do right by others. There are people who feel they're not good people, but they're targeted on the daily basis, and having to go through certain amounts of stress will change you and harden you and turn you into a person that you may have to control and turn into a more level-headed individual, because they know how to bring your demons out of you. You want something to change, you want something to stop. Somebody is not being a good person. Somebody is not doing right by you. And here you are wanting to do right by everybody that you come across. Sometimes doing right by people has to be done from a distance. Sometimes being right by people can be done up close. And sometimes doing right by people is not doing anything for them at all. Just totally, completely, utter shutdown. Zilch, zero, nada. All right? Because doing right by people is a privilege. They do deserve it, but it's still a privilege, because you can go do right by somebody else up close and do right by them from a distance. Being silent, not having anything negative to say, but also taking your positive energy away, because you don't have to be positive around negative people. Can you? I wouldn't try it if I had to. You cannot be positive. You can be positive around negative people, but it's draining and it's taxing and it takes too much. You're going to have to recharge your batteries with some uplifting strategies after you get done with whoever is not the one, or whoever aren't the ones. If you're doing right by them is not reciprocated by them doing right by you in every sense of the word. I do right by you so I can crap on you. I do right by you so I can make fun of you. I do right by you so I can do you dirty. I do right by, canceling out dynamics or aspects to relationships anymore. You can't do something good for me and then slap me in the face and then expect everything to be okay, and expect not to get slapped back with absence, slapped back with being cut off, slapped back with presence removal. All right, you know how you were told something good was going to happen when you were a child, and then if you did something bad, it got taken away. Spank these people with presence removal. Remove your presence from them. Don't feel bad about it. They still have a present moment. They have their own present. They may not have wrapped it up. They may be looking at it like it's not a gift. All right. They may not be perceiving it or viewing it the way they should. Ain't your problem. You're doing right by you. They have to do right by them. If you're doing right by yourself, most likely you're going to be doing right by other people. If other people are not doing right by themselves, it's going to be pretty difficult for them to do right by you. And someone not doing right by you is a clear indicator they're not doing right by themselves. It's a lot of work that goes into being a type of person that's worth any value. If people don't have anything to lose, if they don't bring any value, If they have low to no value, despite how they say, what they say, or how they look, they're not worth much. You might be able to take looks to the bank a couple of times, but they run out after a while, and then you have to rely on what's up here. When the looks fade, integrity stays. All right? But as a child of God, your looks will always be there, all right, in one way, shape, or form or another. All right, because we just got it like that. All right. Too blessed to be stressed. Amen. All right, so do right by people. All right, it's going to benefit you in many ways. The universe will open up heaven's gates and rain down blessings on you, because it will see that you know how to treat people, you know how to cherish relationships, and it's a process. You have to learn how to do it. No one is perfect except through Christ, except through your Christ consciousness, except through your heavenly thoughts, your godly thoughts. So we may even have to stop saying that this we're not perfect business. All right. Stop trying to be so humble that you take yourself right out of your divine inheritance with the Lord. You're supposed to claim your riches through Christ. All right. So some people may perceive it as arrogance, but it's just a lack of understanding on their part. Something they just haven't been aware of yet or figured out. Do right by people. Treat them good. How you treat people is how people are going to treat you. If you are being done really good, it's probably because you've done something really good. You've put some good out there, or you've been thinking some good thoughts. You have to do right by people physically. You even have to do right by people mentally. Doing right by people mentally is basically the equivalent to doing right by yourself. Is equal to doing right by yourself. If you do right by other people mentally, you're going to be at peace. Your thoughts won't be troubled. You won't have any negative feelings or any bad vibes or energy towards another person, which is also going to create more blessings for you, more positive energy for you, more good for you, immediately ready to come into your life whenever you're ready to allow it to. All right. This is not something you can just want. This is something that you have to accept. All right. Doing right by people is doing right by you. It's good for your heart. It's good for your health. It's good for your overall well-being. It's good for your peace of mind. As a good person, you'll be able to sleep at night. You don't have to do corrupt, evil things to be able to rest your head and go to bed. Like the wicked. The wicked cannot rest unless they cause harm to the righteous. All right, so they may ridicule you for being a good person and wanting to do right. Keep doing it. They may talk about you like a dog. Keep putting God first. They may look at you different, turn their face up at you, make fun of you, treat you like the oddball, the odd person out. Embrace it. You have God. You have your creator. You have your higher self. You have you. Heard that the other day and it went right over my head. You have you. You're a whole person. You are a whole divine, blessed, unique, special individual. People would pay to hear you speak. People would love to be in your presence. People would buy your book, buy your product. People will wear your clothes, eat your food. People will listen to what you have to say. People will take your opinion with value. Don't underestimate yourself because those may have treated you with lesser value than you were really worth, because you are that diamond in the rough. But guess what? Even in the rough, you're still that diamond. Things may have gotten rough. All right. I rebuke all technological warfare in the mighty name of my Lord and Savior. All right, in the mighty name of my protectors, my ancestors, those watching over me. All right, I rebuke and I return to sender all negative technological warfare. We rebuke that too. All right, have no fear. The God in you is here. Do right by other people. You want others to do right by you. You want to be done right by. First, put it out there first in the world. Put what you want out there. You have to do right by people physically. You have to do right by people mentally. Doing right by people mentally is doing right by yourself. All right. You have to, what you see is what you get. What you call out of people is how they're going to treat you. So even if people are being difficult, unfortunately, if you see them as difficult, they're only going to be more difficult. And this is I'm going to drop another video on this, but this is the definition of loving the hell out of people. Look at people for who they are. They're going to stay who they are. Look at people for who they can be, and you might just be able to see a little piece of that. You might just get a little piece of the action. All right, just by and a little piece of some satisfaction by seeing people for who they could be instead of who they're displaying themselves to be. God can change things, and God's almighty powerful, and that power and that presence dwells within you right here and right now. Can't underestimate that power within yourself, because that's equivalent to underestimating yourself. Something that puts a limit on you. Something that puts lack and limitation on you and makes you doubt your true abilities. In all honesty, all right, you have supreme power, supreme wisdom, supreme knowledge. All right, it's a pleasure to be in your presence. People love the way you treat them. So when people are doing you bad, they're still taking benefit of being around you. While breaking you down in the process, they're still collecting. While harming you and traumatizing you and causing PTSD and anything else bad that could occur, they're still collecting. This is why cutoff is very important. You have no idea how much you're really worth to the people who are trying to belittle you and cause you pain. Cause you to feel bad about yourself. You don't know how valuable you are to them. They're taking from you and just hating on you. There are people who help people who have had disdain for them all the time. You'll have stories about people who have worked their way to become successful, who have reached back and helped certain people, and it wasn't even really appreciated like that. Some of them, God forbid, even did some unthinkable things to those that have helped them. When that person worked hard to try to get their way up to a certain position so they could do right by you, do right by them, and those people did not get that back. That energy was not reciprocated. They did not keep that same energy. All right, they were on demon time to people that were trying to do right by them. Like that girl who had her own hair business, took her friends on vacation. All right, and some you got to be careful about the type of spirit you got around you. Some hateful, confused, wicked spirit attacked her and took her out of here. I mean, that spirit needed some help. That spirit was crying out for help. And it ended up taking that girl's life, and that spirit that was on that person ended up throwing that person's life away. And if you've seen the movie Fallen, you can't lock up a spirit physically. can't physically jail a spirit. It can bridge the energy field through another person by hacking them bioenergetically. There we go. Energetically. That is the word. Energetically. All right. Bioenergetically can alter the person's electromagnetic energy field. And this is how demons possess people. All right. Through negativity. They find the most wicked, negative person they can, and it's a portal. That negative energy is a portal. They can float right on through that and inhabit that person and take possession of them. Do right by people, y'all. All right, you're going to want to do right by people because the same energy you put out is directly received back in your life. This is why when you give, this is why giving increases getting. Your giving power will increase your getting power. The more you give, the more you receive. All right, God loves a cheerful giver, and those who bless, they get blessed. Those who give, get given to them. All right, people can argue with this, but this is why I'm always giving. You know, I'm always giving. I'm always giving. Even if I don't have it, I'm giving. Because it's going to come back to me that much bigger. All right, whatever I feel is on my spirit to give, I give it. All right. And if you want whatever you want more of in life, that's what you give. That's why I've been saying that throughout this video. Be right to people. You want to be done right by, be right to people. You want money, give money. The more you give, the more you'll get. All right. The more you give, the more you receive. Do right by people and treat them good. All right. Whether you want to or not, whether that person is good to you or not, whether you feel that person deserves it or not. All right. Character isn't always an easy thing to have. It takes strength to have character because character builds strength. And you develop character through life, dealing with different types of people, different personalities, different situations, different environments. Thank God nothing is all the same, because people would be, taking themselves out of here because they'd be so bored with this place. As much as it is negative and bad, it helps you grow. So why look at it as something bad? It's just something that is. It's just something that is. So overlook and look past what you don't want to see. Just don't keep it up. Don't make sure it's not. All you have to do is make sure it ain't happening to me. Just make sure it's not happening to you. So the more you do right by other people, the more God is going to do right by you. The more he's going to bring people in your life to do right by you. The more you can look past the bad in other people and see the good in them, as hard as that may be, as difficult as that may be, because some people, they're being bad to you, and whoever's being bad to you, it's like you have an influx of people being bad to you. It's like you have an overload of people being bad to you. But guess what? The more you have to deal with, the stronger you're going to be. The more you have on the plate, the more you have on your plate, all right, the more you're going to be able to eat. Eventually, the more you have on your plate, the more you're going to be able to eat. The more problems you're going to be able to solve, even though your problems aren't even your problems. And we're going to break that down in another video I got coming soon. I'm not sure if I'm going to make that a video or a live stream, but we're going to take care of that one. All right, we're getting our mind right on this channel. All right, because it's our time right on this channel. So make sure you find somebody to do right by today. All right, and that first person that you see that you should do right by, can you guess? Is the first person you see when you look in the mirror. Y-O-U. Love your neighbor. Do right by you. If you can't do right by you, you can forget doing right by anybody else. And if you don't do right by other people mentally, you can forget doing right by yourself. You have to think about what you think about other people is only what you think about yourself. Other people may make it difficult. They may make it hard to think positively about them, but what you think about other people is only what you think about yourself. So regardless, because you meet no one but you. So if you're being a rascal, if you're being difficult, you got to be like, whoa, I really am something. Let me get myself in check. Let me deal with me. Let me do right by me by doing right by other people mentally. Don't create enemies in your mind. Don't trouble yourself thinking negative thoughts about what you perceive somebody to be doing. You can perceive it another way. You don't have to take things the way your mind is telling you to perceive. You tell your mind what to think. You tell yourself how to feel, and you tell your body how to react. You do those things. If you want to get out, if you want to get back some good in life, you want to meet some really great people in life, put out some good in life. Become a really great person. You may get those negative people still that come into your life. What we don't realize is it's some aspects of our thinking. So that's why it even pays to think good about negative people. You just have to come to the level to where you can reach that awareness. And it may take some time, but you will get to the point to where you won't bother yourself over people who may try to bother you, because you're going to do right by them. All right? Whatever you do is going to come back to you, even to people who do you no good. Straight up. Even to people who don't do you any good, it's still going to come back to you. Especially you, because you're the chosen one, right? The child of God. All right, we are the example, so we get spanked the hardest when we retaliate and do things that are wrong and don't do right by people and not do what we're supposed to do. We get spanked the hardest by life because we're the example. We know better. That's why you do right by people. You're doing your best to represent who you serve. So that law that you observe, serve the Lord, observe the law, that law that you observe wants you to not break that golden rule, right? And to just be a cordial person to the people that you're around. But there are some people who have more to fight than others, and they're unable to do that. And they don't even want to turn to God to resolve the issue. They don't believe in that. They don't believe in a higher power. They don't even believe in themselves. And that's technically why they don't believe in God, because that's who God is. You. And there's no escaping it. You have to accept it, because if you don't, you won't have the full experience of who you're supposed to be in your full divine state of mind, being almighty powerful like you were put here to be. Do right by other people. All right? You have to be a strong person to do right by other people. You have to be a strong-willed person to do right by other people. Because at some point it's going to get difficult. They may try to take a good person and turn you into an animal, turn you into a savage. But you have to choose to not turn into that. You have to choose to be strong-willed and strong-minded enough to not allow yourself to be changed by the negativity that you see on the day-to-day basis. Because you would be the weak one if that was the case, and you're not. You're not weak, thou art strong. Let the weak say, I am strong. All right, let the weak say, I am strong. I am strong. You have almighty power within you. I'd like to thank you for watching this video. Smash the like button and the share button. I'll see you next time. Peace.